Hey, welcome back to another video. So today we're doing sketchbook tour part 2. That's 2. So yeah, the first time we did part 1, which was, I don't know, about like here, which was 20 pages, and now we're doing part 2. This is unfocused. Focus? Great. And now we're doing part 2, which is like this part here, which is another 20 pages. I kind of just do these as I make them, as I go on. Because it's easier for me, and also I talk so much. So yeah, so we're starting from the back as I did last time because my best stuff is at the end. So here we have, this was like my latest video, so check that out as well. But anyway, we have like kind of like Star Children-esque, like, you know, the things from like Howl's Moving Castle. That's sort of what they reminded me of, and it's sort of like a stained glass vibe. And then this one is like a mashup of also just a bunch of different stuff. Like both of these kind of just kept on going wrong when I was making them, and it was just like me haphazardly trying to like fix everything. So like this is like a separate sheet of paper, all of these are separate, and this as well. Yeah, none of these were going according to plan. Next page. This is like, I don't know, tree studies, I guess. I saw like something that looked like this on my Pinterest page, and I was like, you know what, I want to do that. But then it seemed really empty, and I wanted to like try to fill something here, and I immediately ruined it, so I had to cover it up. And this is the sheet that I used, like, you know when you use a sheet to put like under the page like that, so that like when you put marker over it catches and it doesn't like, yeah, that was this page. You can literally see like the black border here. And yeah, I stuck it here because I don't know, I find it pretty. Like even like the napkins that I use for like watercolor, I always just like stick them in my sketchbook because I find stuff like that like just naturally ends up looking really cute. So yeah, here I did like the scratchy sort of thing with like the microns, and I really like it. Like, I don't know, there's something about the like crispness of the tree compared to like the scratchiness of the lines that I really like. So yeah, I was just trying to mess around with that, trying to see what I can do like in terms of like backgrounds and stuff. And yeah, they turned out cute in the end. Also like this like greenish that's like gradienting, that's a verb now, into like the branches. It's like pretty neat also. And next page. Okay, yeah, so this one was also like a page where things weren't really working out. Like I was trying to draw this character, but then like I realized halfway through that they were not gonna fit in the page. I probably should have realized by the size of their head, but like, yeah, it just went into disaster. Then I was like, you know what, it doesn't need to be like a character spread, I can just fill it with other stuff. So I put like this, like, I don't know, lily pad bouquet thing that I made, like, yeah. And the rest of the page was just like, yet again, what can I do like in terms of background? Because like at the beginning of my sketchbook I had like really empty pages that were sort of like this, like all white backgrounds and stuff. So I thought like I could try doing something where, you know, I try to like physically fill up the pages more. So this is like marker over the like Prismacolor erasables, and yeah, and this is like a thick juicy marker, Tombow markers, this birthday boy. And yeah, same idea here. It's just like a mashup of stuff, which is like usually what I like to do, like sort of like a scrapbook-esque, but like in my sketchbook. So it's like a combination of like drawings on the page, drawings that are collaged in, and all that type of stuff. And then I'm trying to do like the ornate sort of stuff, I guess. So yeah, this is like little microwave television dude. This guy has come with me from like all of like my lecture doodles where I was bored. So I'd sit there and I'd like draw. Like sometimes I feel like I can't pay attention unless I'm doing something with my hands, so I need to be like doodling, you know. And yeah, that's where he was born. So I just drew him in here. He has a little glass of milk. He's a happy boy. This, I don't know, it's just kind of cute, and I really like it. It's just, he's so angry. Just gonna just show up at the foot of my bed later. Yeah. And this, I was trying to kind of do like a different style type of thing. Like, even this, like I was kind of just, I'm like not finishing any of my sentences, but like I was trying to do like this like scratchy like gradient sort of thing. Not like gradient, but like, you know how you like block out shapes on the face? I was kind of trying to do something like that, but like a bit looser so that it goes more with my style. So there's like the little like hair highlights or whatever. Then there's like lines that like move with like the eyebrows and the eyes, and yeah, it's just like an intimidating sort of portrait. And I didn't know what to put around it, so I ended up doing like a scrapbook type thing. And yeah, and I ended up doing these over here to like sort of continue the thing. I don't usually try to make double spreads like look the same or like look like, you know, the same theme like I did here, but sometimes, yeah, sometimes it just works out. It's just like, wow, they kind of look like they go together. Okay, next page. Okay, so this page, these started out yet again in my like sketch pad. I have like an Excel sketch pad, which I doodle in sometimes when I'm like out, because I have a habit of forgetting my sketchbook, but always remembering that for some reason. So yeah, and then I liked it, so I cut it out and I shoved it in here, and I sort of just continued it there. I kind of tried to hide where the paper cut by doing like this pink border thing, but like the paper actually ended here. I just continued it over there like on my own. Yeah, this is like, again, the Prismacolor erasables and then layered with the Tombow markers. I think that one was this yellow guy over here that I just layered on top, and it kind of just like picks up some of the colors from underneath, so it doesn't really look like, you know, like this is the same yellow that I used here. So yeah, it kind of just blends really nicely. Yeah, this is like a sort of the beta version of this. I don't know what I was going for, like a house sort of thing, but it sort of didn't really work out. So I ended up making it sort of a castle, and I just, instead of covering that up, I was like, you know what, I'll just do it over here, because this is kind of cute. It's like a bubblegum house. And yeah, these like star things have been what I've been obsessed with lately. Like they're like kind of everywhere. Like I have them here, here, here. This was like, I have a couple pages where I usually like write notes and stuff, or like test markers and stuff like that, like scrap pieces of paper that you keep at the like end of your sketchbook. And then I was like, you know what, I kind of like some of these doodles, so I cut them out in here so that they live forever, instead of me just like losing the paper one day, because it's just like loose paper at the back of my sketchbook. Yeah, this was a thumbnail for a piece that I did, and yeah, and this is not the color scheme I used at all, but I don't know, just stuck it in here anyway. And these little guys, I don't know what to say about them. I think they speak for themselves. And yeah, this was, I don't know, I was just trying like some scrapbooking stuff. Not scrapbooking, what's it called? Collage type thing. This is like paper I make myself, so it has like this sort of like texture to it. Like you just sort of take A4 paper and you paint it yourself. So it has like, so it catches all of like that, I don't know, all the little breaks in the pages and all that. It adds like a different like liveliness instead of just like using construction paper. So yeah, and I just liked it, so I put it in here. And yeah, this guy yet again speaks for himself. He's just, oh my goding at everything, at the chaos. Okay, this I also did a video about. It was like a 2-color challenge, which you can probably tell. And yeah, ignoring the black, but like 2-color, like red and blue. And yeah, so go check that one out after. But yeah, this was like kind of just drawing from memory. Like I've had a couple people like look through my sketchbook and they're like, wow, was this like an observational like study type thing? And I'm like, no, it's just from my head. But it's also like the most random like collage of stuff, so I don't really see how this could have been like an observational thing unless it was done over like a long period of time, because it's like lemons, seashells, grapes, oatmeal, cereal, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, it's just like random stuff. I was just kind of just sitting there and chatting with you guys, obviously, a very one-sided conversation, and I just sort of drew what came to mind. This one did not film because you'll hear in that video, it was atrocious. Stuff happened. So yeah, I got this one on film though. Yeah. And yeah, my obsession with cutlery continues. I don't know if there's more of that like here. I don't know if there's more of that in this sketchbook, which would be good. Okay, there's no more cutlery, but like in a couple of the art pieces I've done recently, there's a lot of cutlery and it's kind of concerning. Okay, next page. These 2 pages also go together, which was not very intentional, but I kind of just did this page a blackout page, and then for this page I was like, you know what, it looks kind of weird if it's not a blackout also, so I did that. But first I drew like this figure, which I really like. It kind of gives like Steven Universe esque. Yeah, like it's kind of like a star character design. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, I did like this sort of, this is kind of just me playing around, like, this is when I first got like the Prismacolors, and I was just kind of playing around with like how the scratchiness goes. Like this was like a very hard, sharp edge, and then this was like a softer, like more diagonal like hold of the pencil. So yeah, I was just kind of playing around with that, and I really liked it, but I was like, you know what, it's such like a strong figure on its own. I don't think I can like fill up the page with something else that would like match it, you know? So I kind of just started like blacking it out. I was gonna do like a bit of a border, then it went too far. I was like, you know what, I might as well just, you know, color the whole thing. And I left this like little strip just to like balance that out because it would have been a bit too much. And this was also kind of inspo for another one of my most recent pieces. It's the piece I did, it was like digital, and it was called like Cerulean Soldiers or something. So these guys were like blue. But yeah, and here I was just trying to test out like the difference that I could make. Like here I used the Prismacolors, but here I was like, you know what if I used like my microns, like just to like compare the two and how they look, just so that I could like save that for in the future. Like if I'm making like an art assignment or something, I'm like, okay, I have a available comparison for like what each would look like. Okay, so this is a very full page, especially like turning it from like, turning this page to turning this page is like, could give someone a heart attack probably. But yeah, this is like one of my favorite spreads in this section, I think, because it's just like so full and colorful. I don't know, I'm doing this with my hands. It's so full and like colorful and like crunchy, and I love it. This is like the first time that I really made like a full like hefty, you know, like sketchbook page, and I don't even know where to start like talking about it. I wish I filmed this, but it kind of just happened in a way that I think if I were filming it, it wouldn't have happened this way, you know? Like I kind of just started, I had this sketch, I like plopped it in here because this is a separate sheet of paper, and then I was sort of just making this design around it. But yeah, I just started to like fill up the sides, and I was like, okay, wait, this is still empty and it's all really in the corner and I don't know what else to put in it. So I did like this dog and I cut it out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do like a scrapbook-esque thing. And yeah, the rest of it was just me trying to like fill it up and plop things together, and like, yeah, I started layering like microns and Prismacolors and Tombow markers, and this is like a glitter thing, like a gel pen and all that type of stuff, just trying to squish things together. And then this was more of an intentional thing. I was trying to like recreate sort of what I did here. I was like, okay, I want to make something like really full to match this. I want to continue like the orange border type thing. And yeah, this has a bit more like harsher lines, I would say, like harsher line art from the get-go. Like this started with like thick blue lines, whereas this, it was more like I made the thing and then I went out like after and like went over it. But anyway, yeah, so this started out differently. I was just trying to like test out different processes. That's what I'm trying to do, like trying to have different skills under my belt sort of, so that when I go back to school in the fall, I kind of have like a couple ideas and a couple like new skills that I've learned, you know, just to like beef up my portfolio, I guess. This says I love friendship because it's an inside joke, but I do love friendship. And okay, so this, I would say, is like sort of like the beta version of this, where like this was like my first attempt of doing like a full beefy spread, whereas this is like a bit more of like a developed attempt. But yeah, I started out again with like a couple chopped up things, and this was more of like, where's the page? This is more of like a this page sort of thing, where I had a bunch of random sketches and I didn't want to leave them all on like loose paper because I liked them all, so I was just desperately trying to mesh them all here. Like, I don't think I drew anything on the actual paper, like all this was stuff I actually had. So it was more like a collage type exercise instead of like a drawing thing. But yeah, it's like really full, and I tried to fix it by doing like this sort of like leading line, and it didn't work out that way. It's really full, and it's, yeah, that's okay. Doesn't really need to work. Yeah, this was my second attempt at the same thing. I tried using this sort of like leading line thing, make it a bit more intentional. I still don't know if it works. But yeah, I had this sort of like character here, and I drew them again and plopped them down there. This was my first idea for like the blackout sort of page that I showed you guys earlier, like this sort of thing. I was like, wow, what if I do a character and all around them it's just like they're all like crisped and rounded around the sides, you know, like there's nothing like around it like this. Like just to emphasize the character, I was trying that out. And yeah, and I did like a lot more like background work, so I think all of this stuff, all of this like mini little hatching and scratching and like stippling and stuff, there's like a lot of that sort of work. So I think that's sort of just what inspired like some of this stuff as well. Okay. And the final spread I have, this is like sort of like water character, I guess. I'm not really as fond of the first sketch as I am with the second, because the first one I went in with like thick heavy markers. Like I had like a black that I was using at first, and then I tried to cover up the black with like my blue Tombow marker and it wasn't really working as well. But this, like even like these like harsh lines, it doesn't really read like as like watery, flowy, you know, but this feels like a lot more soft, a lot more like gentle, which is how I think of it. I don't know, they're supposed to be the same character, but I like this one more. Okay, so this guy is like the first level of ideation, and then this was the second level, and then this was sort of like the final level that I arrived at. These were supposed to be like two different characters, but they kind of just look like the same character with like a different expression. But like I think that's fine, like they're just sort of like the same species, so they all kind of just like have the same like look. And yeah, I really like these stars like in the background. This guy, I was gonna put him like in my phone case because I have like this running joke with my sister where we like trade little like silly doodles and we put them in our phone cases, but no, I wanted to put him here just to like memorialize him. And yeah, this page was just like a simple, like, I say simple, but it's like the most chaotic thing you've ever seen. It's like just like dynamic pose practice, and yeah, it's not like aesthetic or anything, but I still wanted to show it because like I'm trying to show like all of my pages to show like, oh, some are not as aesthetic and some are aesthetic, you know, like I don't really want to like hide anything. So yeah, that was the first page of the section. So if you haven't seen part one, go check out part one. I show you guys all of this stuff here. Section one. I guess I'll just do a quick flip through here of all these pages I have. So yeah, you can sort of see like that development where it's like, oh, sort of attempting something full, something a bit fuller, something really full, you know, so which is pretty cool. Okay, I'll do an actual flip through now. Just all of this. I still really like the contrast of this page and the page before. The two color, I have videos of this, go check it out. These. And I have a video of this one up as well. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, stick around for more stuff. I usually film like segments where I work in my sketchbook and other stuff like that. Yeah, I remember I had like this goal where I wanted to do like more borders here, so that's good. Like I have a lot of like borders and stuff going on, and yeah, it's just pretty cool to like flip through and see sort of like that development in my style, I guess. And I'm excited for the next section 3. It's gonna be good. So yeah, that concludes it for sure. Again, like, comment, subscribe, stick around for more stuff. Go check out the other videos I have where I actually work in the sketchbook if you're curious to see me working on more sections of my sketchbook. I still have a lot of other sections to do. And yeah, I hope you have a good whatever, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys around. Bye!